Hey guys, it's Smalls with Smalls Outdoors. So, I'm out here at this new pond, never fished it. Well, let me get in front of the camera here. Sorry about this, I'm still dealing with my phone, pretty much. Okay, so today is my worm day. For people that don't know how to work a worm, or how to choose a worm, etc., etc., hopefully this video might help. Ooh, I thought I had a fish right there. So, I'm at this new pond. The water clarity is, can't even see past a foot. So, because of the rain that we have gotten, that I still have to stay with dark worms. I was hoping maybe the mud will settle. Some places are going to be a lot different than others. Right now, I'm throwing a June bug ribbon tail by Zoom. Not a bad bait to throw, especially in these conditions. It's one of my favorite colors. It's a perfect fall time color to me instead of a pumpkin green or a watermelon red. Now, I'm not saying that those baits won't work in the fall time, but I'm also saying I would rather use darker colors in the fall. So my cotton candy does not work on anything, okay? Unless it's ultra clear water where you can see the bottom while you're in, I'd say about 8 foot of water. Not 8 foot, I'd say about a good 5 or 6 foot of water. If I can see straight down and see the bottom, then yes, I can throw a cotton candy worm. But since my water clarity is not that good, put that in the tree and got a bird's nest out of that. And since it's not ultra clear in this pond, I just kind of have to get a good feel for it. That looked like a snake coming out of that tree. And so with that, all that being said, I have on this new pond, I'm gonna have to show y'all again. I had to redo this video twice. So, here's the pond. And as you can see, if you look straight forward, it looks like a dam. I'm gonna call this a lake. At that point, if it's got a dam like this, please don't fall on the phone. If it's got a dam like that, I consider this a lake. And not because of the retrospect that it's a small body of water, but that it's a more natural body of water instead of just a freestanding pond. There is a creek that runs behind the dam. It's a pretty good sized creek. Never fished it, want to fish it. But right now, I'm just kind of throwing my worm out there. I'm not really going after, any structure or anything like that. The reason being is I want to know how my worm's going to look and how it's going to feel going through the water. I also want to see if I'm pulling any moss out of the bottom, because if I'm pulling moss out of the bottom, that means that I have to go completely weightless and I have to be weedless. And I just saw a big old fish jump over there, so I'm having high expectations. I'm just gonna kind of pull it along. My worm looks good. It looks fantastic. This is June bug ribbon tail by Zoom. Not a bad setup I got. It's a 4/0 offset hook and a little cheap mustad. Nothing too bad. So I'm gonna go to my first spot that really drawn my attention with driving in. I don't know why my camera's being so slow. Okay, so a couple of spots here. In a tournament setting, these would be fantastical to fish off of. But I would fish these more in the springtime than I would the fall, and I would fish these more in the summertime than in the fall. What the heck is that floating in the water? Right here, it's really good. It's really good practice. This would actually be pretty good for a jig. And y'all are like, well, Brandon, how do y'all know this? When you're fishing structures and you're fishing, you're fishing tree limbs and sucking trees and stuff like that. You want to be weedless, not hang up, and you know, you throw your lure up in a tree limb. I'm sorry, I'm tying my pants here. Is you don't want to get hung up and not get your lure out. as well as I don't want to snag up on this tree. With that being said, if I throw something, and it's got an old boat ramp in here too. This is probably going to be one of the, I wouldn't say the coolest. My first pond that I went to and started making these videos, I thought that pond was cool, but I fished it so much that it's not fun anymore. And the second pond I went to around the corner from my house, it's not my grade A pond that I want to fish, because a local told me that they had to put some stuff in there to deoxinate, or that $50 word right there. They had to put chemicals in, and it turned the pond over, and a lot of scum on top. You know, I still pull out fish, but it's not the right size I want. If you can see here, second thing I'm going to look at coming up to this pond is I want to see what's swimming. If I'm fishing for bass and there is red-tailed shad in there, why am I going to throw anything that's going to look like a bluegill? Unless that's, you know, the colors that they're biting on for the dark colors. You know, this June bug, it's really good for, you know, that bluegill feel to it. But right here, you can't even see past a foot. Right here, man, this is not even 6 inches of water. Okay, so this log is not going to hold anything. Now, I see a floating limb right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of flip it out there. Right there, kind of jig it around. When you're making a full cast with a worm, then you can drag it in slow. But if you pitch it, you're gonna hit a fish 9 times out of 10 if you jig it, if you're pitching it. You know, that's when you get into your finesse fishing and your trick worms and your finesse worms. You know, here lately, I've been throwing mostly long worms and Senkos and crankbaits and, you know, rattle traps. I've been throwing all that, and matter of fact, we're coming up on the creek that I didn't even see the first time. Matter of fact, right here, there's a sunken tree. There's a lot of them right here. It's real woody right here. And so with all that being said, right here's not a bad spot. The only thing I don't like is it's not deep enough yet. But I'm going to this mouth of the creek. The mouth of the creek, it goes around the block, I should say. And the mouth of a creek is very good for fishing flukes. But today I'm fishing worms, so I'm not going to throw a fluke. Okay, so let me set y'all up. I'm gonna set y'all up high. Hopefully y'all can see the pond. I was told you can't really hear me. Let's try that. Oh yeah. So I was told y'all couldn't really hear me with my face back to the camera. So I'm trying to talk loud. So right here, if you look over here, if you look over there, that's what I'm aiming at, okay? I'm aiming around those stumps. There's more sunken stumps. I'm gonna try to, hook this, little worm out there. If I don't make it there, then I need to switch to a Texas rig. But since I am throwing this split shot rig that's about 6 inches above the worm body, that I think it'd have no problem getting on out there. Yeah. It'd help if the wind wasn't blowing either. I should have tried that dam side first. Well, I'm just going to do a steady reel. I know this worm's diving because of the weight. And I might be able to draw something off. First cast, nothing. So I'm going to get it close for that pot. I'm going to go around. I want to go around those stumps first because sometimes you get a fish that is going rogue and wants to swim off, as well as a fish that's coming in. So hopefully, whenever you get actually to that stump, if there's something holding on it, you've tried everywhere around there, so you know there's only one fish right there. Now, that's not always the case. I'm not saying anything like that, and I'm not going to disappoint y'all on this video, because I will be going home to the fish. Guaranteed. I love this pond already. Only thing I don't like is I can see my braid through the water. That's the only drawback that might cost me some fish. And so, get it out there, same spot, let it sink. Try different techniques. Try, popping. Whatever you want, whatever you got to do to get that fish, change up your techniques. I'll put it right there and let it sink, and I'll show you my techniques. Y'all see my yo-yo method. Y'all see my sidearm method. So now, this method is I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to pop it all in one spot. You're going to feel that worm pick up, reel up your slap. Pick it up, pop it, as many times as you want. Let that worm sink again. There's so much vibrations of you doing that it makes a fish, very, very hard not to get. You're pretty much lining it up. Right now I'm going across this mouth of the creek. If I feel like worms are not going, because it is 4 o'clock and the sun is still pretty high and the fish can see a lot of stuff. The visibility's not there, but bass can see really good, even in murky water. But they see shapes and no color unless they're close enough to notice the color. Put it right where I want it. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Sit here and I'm gonna pop it. I'm gonna get it right next to the surface, depending on water depth, of course. All right. So let's not draw that back. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna pop it, reel it up, pop it, let it sink. right now, I feel this worm is not doing its justice. So what I'm going to do is put it in that tree. All right, let's try that again. I don't know if I can skip it with this split sinker, so it might take me a couple of tries. There we go. Put it right under the tree, right where I want it. And he took off with it though. Alright, so I know there's one down there. Slowly fill it in. The reason why I'm not popping it is because it is not a pitch. Yeah, it's right next to me. But I'm not fishing. A structure is good for flipping and pitching with worms. That's when you want to pop. And yeah, sure am. Think it was just a little panfish. I'm gonna try to put it across that creek. I like to cover the water. I throw it anywhere and everywhere, except for open water. I like to fish shorelines a lot. I don't like fishing. I don't like fishing the underwater structures unless I have to. And since I don't have a fish finder, it's hard for me to do that. Okay, so this worm's not working. I think the reason why it's not working, I'm gonna set you up. The reason why I think it's not working is because, number one, it ain't got enough weight. And there's no lily pads. I got this swim bait that I bought off of Wish, and nope, I can't. It's a worm day. Sorry. I'm going to try this Innovation Reactions creature bait. I'm also going to take off the split shot because this creature bait is really heavy. And what this creature bait does with these legs, well, this one's about to fall off. I don't think I should. This is like my last one. This one's been used and abused. Yeah, it's falling apart. I can't use it. But anyways, what the tails does is they wiggle. They wiggle and set off vibrations. It's supposed to look like a crawfish with its claws. So, since today is a worm day, and like I said, it's dark water, and I want to use one of the darker baits. I would love to use these flukes on the mouth of this creek, this watermelon red. I just feel like that it's a worm day, and I don't want to pull out no extra tackle that I don't have to. I also have a finesse worm here. And I also have some motor oil, which I like motor oil. It's one of my favorite colors. My favorite color of all time is cotton candy because it's just a pretty bait to me. But you know, I wouldn't base anything off of that. And oh my gosh, I just found a lure right here. I just found a lure. What? It doesn't have a trailering treble, and it's a deep diving crank. And it was literally right there behind the phone. Okay, guess what's going in the box? And so, since today's worm day, and don't really see anything in here that stands out except for my black Senkos, which I can throw weightless, I can skip, I can do everything. But I think for right now, I'm going to use my bait of the day, which is my Senko. I'm also throwing this weightless. As I described in the conditions, I want to fish it weightless. I say conditions, but on my Facebook page, I put weightless. So that's what I'm going to do, is weightless. Alright, so we're going to string that around. We're going to slide it on up, spin the hook. You know, same old crap, different wipe. And let's see where this hook's going to end up. It's going to end up right there. And I'm trying not to twist the worm too bad to make this work. God forbid. Alright, so a little bit of my hook is exposed. It's a little crooked. I think it'll be alright. It's not how a worm's supposed to look, but I'm not wasting baits today. It's also a Super Salt Plus, which means makes it sink faster. And this is by Yum. It's called the Dinger. I said Gary Yamamoto, but they're all the same. Okay, they're all exactly the same. Another key points I want to brush up on. If I wasn't fishing worms on this pond, I would go to something more flashy. And flashy, not meaning a spinner bait. There is a lot of sand that I can pull a spinner bait through, but I just feel like it wouldn't do the justice. What I would also do on this pond is I would throw a lipless crankbait. I would actually do my bluegill that I said that would work yesterday, the crankbait of the day. So, that being said, I'm going to close my worms up. Since there's no lily pads and there's still cover, frogs will work to some extent. And so, oh, I need this too. I was about to move for no reason. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my Senko, or my Dinger, if you will. I'm going to throw them in the same exact spots of where I was just throwing. Okay? It is a heavier bait. It does go a little farther in that tree over there. Splash. And it's pretty much at the bottom. It fell on the shoreline pretty much, so. I can't tell if I'm getting hits or not. Still nothing. But I'm not losing hope. Oh. If there's a fish right there, boy, howdy. This day of reckoning is coming. You notice how my rod tip is? It's right next to the water. Y'all probably got the sun in y'all's eyes. But y'all notice my rod tip's next to the water. You can as well as notice that I'm reeling a little faster because it is a heavier bait. And there's no tail action. It's just more of... Actually, the way I have this rigged up is it's swimming in circles like a minnow would. Why did you go all the way over there? This wind is killing me. I'm on land. Alright, let's try it again. Alright, so that's more of open water out there. This wind's kind of harsh on me. I wish I can't blame it on the wind, but it's the dawn of a new day, I guess. All I'm going to do is slightly reel. For sure, I would try this pond even if I don't catch anything today. I would most definitely try this pond again. I'm reeling nice and slow. I'm not bugging this bait. I'm not burning it in, but I'm also not barely dragging. And we're going to put it out there one more time, right where I want it. There you go. I would like to have mono in these situations because I can see the braid. The braid is really killing me. not saying I won't catch a fish using braid, but at the same time, I'm not a big firm believer in braid. But I decided I'm gonna try it on this reel and just see if I can get better action. And as well as if I wanted to, which I really want to right now, but I can't because it's a worm day, is I would toss the topwater out there too. But it is really hot. When I drove up, there was stuff, on top of the water, a lot of swirls. But I already told y'all it's a worm day, so. And that is a huge fish that swam by. He's right on top of it, too. Go one more time over there. I put it in the shade this time. Maybe that might draw something out. Not saying it will, not saying it won't. But since I saw that fish swim on top, right in front, it wasn't even 5 foot in front of me. I don't like how this is set up at all. So, I'm going to fix that real quick. Let it fall natural. It looks unnatural at this point. It looks like this worm's kind of pregnant and lopsided. Okay, well, it'll still work. Hell with it. Alright, so whenever a bait is like this and straight on, when it falls, and I wish I can give y'all some shade. It is what it is. But whenever this bait falls, it's gonna rock down. It's not just gonna do a rapid fall head on like you would if it was Texas rig. Ooh, I put it right in a good spot too. I'm fishing across this creek. I feel like there's nothing holding on those stumps. But I'm gonna let that Senko sink a little bit more. Yeah, I feel like y'all are liking the correct summer. I think I'm gonna go to that dam so y'all can get a better insight of what's going on. Alright, this is gonna be my last cast. I'm gonna start a new video. And I'm just gonna call it part 2, like I've done with the rest. Another thing what you can do with these Senkos. Another thing, a lot of people like to do this. I'm not one of those guys, but if the time's called for it, with the bird's nest. Alright, let's try that again. Let me try a different cast. Okay, so I'm winding up for the pitch. It's just not making it to the catcher at this point. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's the reel. Alright, one more time. And wind up for the pitch. Okay. So, I don't think you can see it on the camera, but people like to burn their Senkos in where they skim them on top. You can skim them on top, but you have to walk them. and keeping them upright and then being salt, salt pluses and stuff, it's not going to work out the way you want to. So I'm going to go this damn side and I'm going to try that out. Oh man, I like to go underneath this bridge and try it. I feel like there's something down there in this creek. So I'm gonna try both sides. Hopefully y'all got something from this video about, some kind of worms and stuff. The next two videos is going to be me fishing at different spots of this pond because I cannot cover all this in the raw footage in under an hour. There's just no way, guys. So kind of help me out here and hit like and subscribe, and go ahead and go to my Facebook page, Instagram, and Snapchat, and add Smalls' Outdoors. We're looking to hear from you. Thank you.